Hello, everyone. We are live, and today is Thursday, interview day. And as always, I have an awesome guest for you to listen to. And before I do that, of course, I want to go over some housekeeping tips. One of them being that, first of all, this is a pre recorded session so that you know, and so that you will be seeing the replay. As you know, I'm coming in from Mexico. My guest is coming in from the USA. And the other thing that I would like for you to understand is that the StreamYard strip above this video, or perhaps it's below the video, is a strip where that you can click. And when you click that strip, it gives permission to StreamYard to use your name. And that way you can interact. Even though this is pre-recorded, yes, you can interact with us. You can ask questions. You can make comments. You can just react. And if you're going to react, do so with some hearts, because we love hearts for sure. And be assured that if you ask a question, Debbie or myself will get back to you with the answer. So, as always, let me explain to you that I met my guests online, and I will repeat it one more time. You meet the nicest people online. I didn't think so 5 years ago, so afraid to go online to meet anybody. But, that was a limiting belief that I got over. Okay, my guest and I have our mentors. We have some mentors that are common to us. Tony Robbins, for one, Dean Graziosi. Actually, we're both members of Project Next. Now, Project Next. First, when Dean and Tony started their program, it was called KBB. It was the Knowledge Business Blueprint, and it morphed, excuse me, into PN, as we call it, Project Next. And my both my guests and I are members or students of that project. We also have in common John Maxwell as a mentor. So the other thing is that really didn't meet Deb, through the Project Next. I personally met her online. She joined our Launch Lab Academy, and now she's in our latest program called the Launch Lab Premium. So, without any further ado, let us meet Debi Lynn. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Lucy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Now, Debbie, I'm in Mexico. Where are you in the USA?
I'm in good old Texas.
Texas. What part of Texas? It's a big state. It's almost a
I'm
big
in
country.
I'm in a little bitty town called Wake Up Wiley.
Oh, wow. What a name. I've never heard of that. Wow. Have you lived there all your life, or were you born there, or what?
Oh no, I was born in Florida. I've moved all my life. I was an Air Force brat. Um,
Uh-huh.
my daddy moved every single year, so
Wow.
but I've been in Texas now 28 years.
And,
So
and and you are married, right?
yes,
Uh-huh. And you also have a daughter, right?
I
Am I
have a daughter and a son.
And a son? How wonderful. Deb, let me talk about before, excuse me, before joining the Launch Lab Premium program. What led you to start your Friends in Grief Loss of a Child Facebook group? Was there a personal experience or a specific term that kind of inspired you to create this group?
Yes, I've had a couple of losses, and my son being one. And in church, when I had my son, there was four of us pregnant. We were all pregnant at the same time, and unfortunately, I lost my son.
Oh my
And
God.
so I had a lot of people ask me, and over the years, just decided maybe that was a route for me. We don't plan on something like that. It just happens to us.
Right. Absolutely. Oh my God. So shortly after joining the Launch Lab, you ended up in the hospital for several weeks, I remember. How did this experience, or that experience, because it's past now, how did that experience affect your journey as an entrepreneur. And how did the Launch Lab support you during that difficult time?
Well, being in the hospital, it was very sudden. So it was quite an ordeal. But I will say that the Launch Lab support team is just incredible. Not only do you have the support team with the coaches, but we have accountability partners. And everyone was checking on me.
Hmm.
I would try to keep status updates to the team so that I could at least let them know where I was. I had no clue that I was going to be in the hospital for as long as I was.
And I
But
know
you got to keep moving.
you got to keep moving, and we were so worried about you. But it's amazing. What motivated you to continue with the program? I mean, you usually when people have a setback like that, they go, you know what? I got to deal with my health. I got to deal with my family. I'll do this later. What motivated you? Because you just came back and you got right into the program again.
I think for me, especially, um, I know how difficult it is after losing a child.
Hmm.
And I've had so many parents ask me for help. And I just feel like we have a grief illiterate world.
Right.
And I feel like it's my calling. It's something that I need to be able to help others with. So it's important to me to move on.
Absolutely. And I like the way you put that, the a grief illiterate society. It certainly is. We just kind of want to put it aside and say, you know, time will take care of it. And that's not the case at all, which we will find out just,
Mhm.
in this interview talking with you. So starting an online business, because I know that you were in business before you went online. Starting an online business can be very challenging, and especially when when life throws you a curveball, like you ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks. Can you share some of the other challenges you faced in the early stages of going online, and how you managed to persevere?
Well, I would say that obviously going online, it's a new era, if you will. Especially as we get older, technology, it's kind of a little bit scary. I had my own graphics business, but that still didn't mean that I knew the resources or what I
Right.
needed in order to run an online business. I started my own business many moons ago when you went and pounded on doors and
Right.
took your portfolio, and that was how I started. But you can't do that on an online business. So you need resources, you need hand holding, you need support. And that's what Launch Lab has given me.
Well, but more than that, I mean, what strategies or mindset shifts helped you maintain your drive during these very difficult times? I mean, did you have a routine? Did you have some affirmations that you used to say to yourself? I mean, what kept you going? What mindset shifts
Well,
helped you?
one thing that I do every single day, I've always been pretty much a very positive person, and I like posting positive comments. And I have a
Hmm.
what I call my miracle blessing guide, and it's an everyday devotion. And so for me, my faith has helped some too, because I know that things that happened, it makes us stronger.
Right.
Now, we might not understand at the time and we're questioning things. And am I up every day? Absolutely not. But I know that if I don't press forward, then I'm not going to get there. And I have grandchildren, and I want them to know that no matter what comes our way, we can still move forward and make our dreams come true.
Right. Oh my God. So, that's the message that you have definitely for aspiring entrepreneurs who may be facing similar challenges or setbacks, right? I mean, for you to have stayed motivated and committed to your vision is admirable. So people do need kind of a routine or some kind of a mantra or something to help them, right? I mean, obviously that helped you tremendously. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, in Project Next and even in Launch Lab, and, we all have some of the same things. We have goals, right? And one of the things I learned a long time ago is to write those goals down, no
Hmm.
matter what they are, and keep it right in front of you.
Right.
And, that inspires us as well. But the grandkids are really important. And I want them to know that no matter what, they can move forward and they can have anything they want. Just keep pressing.
Right. So you have a big why there.
Yes.
Big why. Not only do you see your mission as really very important, but for the grandchildren, and you're the role model, basically. You know. Wow. So let's talk a little bit about Launch Lab program and how it provided resources and guidance to help you navigate through, maybe the obstacles that arose. You must have had some obstacles that came up to launching, trying to launch this online business. Can you maybe address how maybe the Launch Lab program helped you with that?
Yeah, most definitely. First and foremost, I would say that Launch Lab is a great community.
Hmm.
You have coaches that are committed to the program, and I do mean committed. And, that alone is very helpful. That it saves energy and time.
Right.
And what do I mean by that? It's like, even though we have our time, every single day you have support. If you have questions, you can put it into the community and they will get back to you. And I think for me, that's huge because, I'm juggling so many balls, as most people do, especially having a family.
Right.
And so having that community, we have accountability partners that
Right.
you're working with that you can ask questions. And so the support itself, I think, lends, especially the new entrepreneur, the resources that they might not otherwise have.
Right. Because, we were both members of Project Next, and it is a wonderful course.
Mhm.
However, you get lost in the thousands of people, and it's very difficult. That reminds me, I should have turned off my phone too. I always forget, but but that's okay. This is live, and this is the way it goes. So let's talk about something important. Now you're wanting to launch your program. You're still working on the program. What are you looking forward to right now? I mean, I know that you're still working on some of the steps, but the when do you intend to launch is probably the question I want to ask you.
What I'm thinking about right now is probably August. I originally wanted to focus on July, but I've had a few other personal setbacks, and
Mhm.
so right now I'm looking at August. But if it happens earlier, then that's great. But that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Okay, so tell me, how do you plan to break through? Because it is going to be a breakthrough, the barriers, for what you do, and be able to create a safe and welcoming space for individuals who desperately are going to need your support and guidance. I mean, how do you propose doing that, breaking through those barriers?
Well, one way that I feel like is going to be very helpful is the certification program that I went through. They
Mhm.
also have a group where we can be listed. But not only that, I currently volunteer for the Dallas Life Foundation. And that is where I use like my certified medical assistant skills. And I will also utilize my grief certification. And I plan to work with community churches and schools
Okay.
because our children in the schools, especially siblings, so much do not get the support that
Mhm.
they need. So that's where my focus is going to start. And I believe that that will transition to where I need to be.
Wow. So you have a lot. you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of thoughts about which way you're going to go, and so it's going to be, of course, one step at a time, right?
Correct.
I want to ask you, in what ways did Launch Lab, the community, and the resources that they afforded you contribute to your growth as an entrepreneur?
I will say that the hand holding for sure.
Right,
When, even when I got, was in the hospital, realizing that we're right where we need to be.
right,
You don't have to ever feel like you're behind. You're right where you need to be. And the support and the encouragement alone is very helpful. Do you have to have a good mindset? Absolutely.
yeah.
But having that community support, I think, is the world.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, and it also proves to you that you don't need to do it alone,
Mhm.
right? I mean, you have a team there, certainly with the Launch Lab team and with their daily Q's and A's, and at a moment's drop you can get your questions answers. So as you move forward, or as you move forward with your online business, what are your aspirations for Friends in Grief? How do you plan to leverage your personal experience and maybe the lessons you learned from the Launch Lab?
I would say, first and foremost, I just want to be there for somebody who does need it.
Hmm.
I want them to know it's a safe place to share their experiences. I try to post in there every day, even though I haven't launched yet, just to kind of share some of the things that I've learned. I've shared Robert's picture, and I feel like the more we talk about grief and people understand
Right,
that it's okay to talk about it, that we will only enhance the world. Um,
right.
one person at a time. If I can help one person, then I'm successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now you mentioned Robert. Robert was the name of your son, the son that you lost.
Mhm.
Okay. So is there anything that you would like to, any kind of advice that you would like to give to maybe people who want to get online? There's a lot of people out there who know that they have a message. They have that they can impact other people's lives. They know that there's something bigger for them than just what they're doing, but they're afraid to take the first step, and or they don't know what first step to take or
Mhm.
whom to trust. Do you have any advice for those people?
Well, I would say definitely the Launch Lab community is a great place for
Hmm.
anyone who's in that mindset where they've got something they want to offer, but they just don't know what to do next. I would say join,
Right,
work with us. There is so much support there, and with the steps that we have, that you can take, I just feel like it's a great first step for anyone.
right. Well, how did you find out about it? People don't know that Launch Lab Academy exists. How did you find out about Launch Lab Academy?
Well, Athena had reached out to me. I think I was searching. I
Okay.
mean, like we said, Project Next is a great program, but I was stuck. I literally was stuck. I didn't know where else to go. There were so many steps. It was overwhelming, to be honest.
Hmm.
And I knew I had something, I knew I had a message. And so Athena had reached out to me, and, the timing wasn't necessarily right at the beginning, but she was persistent.
Like Athena
And
being one of the coaches on the team, right?
yes. And, I'm very thankful and very blessed that she was persistent, because I definitely knew I needed something. And so if it wasn't for her, I might not have found Launch Lab. So I
Mm.
appreciate very much the opportunity to work with the community.
Wow, thank you so very much for saying that. So, I know that the Launch Lab, um, kind of suggest that you do a trial launch to make sure that you have all the elements in place, and then you do a beta launch, and then your public launch. When do you expect to do your public launch, so to speak? I mean, what seems to be the trajectory, you know,
Well,
vision?
for me right now, I haven't necessarily had a specific date. I was going to kind of take it as it goes, to be honest. But I'm looking at August some point, maybe mid-August if everything falls into place. And it may be sooner. I get my certification here in 2 weeks. And so, depending upon what happens there, I've already had people reaching out to me.
Wonderful.
So, I may actually launch sooner and just go with the flow.
Okay, well, that brings in, that leads me right into the next question. How can people contact you? You mentioned that you've already had people reaching out to you. Um, as you see in the tickler, it says here that you can be reached in at your Facebook on your Facebook group. Now, I know that this tickler has just, you can hardly see the information. You are known as a certified grief educator, all right? And so people can definitely go to your Facebook group, and your name is pretty easy. It's Debi Lynn, Lynn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we will make sure that underneath the interview, we'll post the Facebook URL to make sure that people can contact you. Is there any other way they can contact you?
They're more than welcome if they're on Facebook to send me a message. Also in our WOW group, if people have questions from the interview, please reach out to me there. I will do my best to answer within the same day. But yes, please reach out to me.
Okay, great. For the audience, Debbie just mentioned the WOW group, and that's the Women Online Wisdom Group, the WOW, WOW club group. And so that's the group that she is referring to. And so, if also just as a side note here, if anybody wants to know more about the Launch Lab program, you can contact us here at the URL. It's https:// my name Rosa-Stagi Lucy .system.io/launch lab premium for anybody who might be interested in finding out more information. Okay, now Debbie, do you have any final wise words to anybody who wants to be a coach, wants to get online? Do you have any wise words for them?
I would say just do it.
Just do it. I know. Just do it. Whether
Just
it's
begin.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Debbie, I really want to thank you for your time. Thank you very, very much for being here today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate certainly what you're doing. I know that you're going to impact a lot of people's lives. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you are doing to help people get through a difficult time with certainly a loss of a child. Nobody, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the time and look forward to helping anyone.
Thank you. Thank you. And I also want to thank you, my audience, for being here today with us. If you want to contact Debbie, make sure that you go to her Facebook group. You can also private message her. And below this video, we will make sure that the URL for her Facebook appears so that you can contact her very quickly and easily. Thank you for participating, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.